Paul, the magic of the FA Cup. Has this FA Cup game come at a bad time or a good time for Yeovil Town?
Hard to say, really.
We'll find out on Sunday.
I do feel that it's just a freshness. Hopefully it'll benefit the players, take a wee bit of pressure off them to be playing a different competition. In the end, it's can be exasperating for a player as much as a fan to play and perform like they did in the first half on Saturday. And then obviously individual mistakes cost us dear as far as getting something out of the game, which has reared its ugly head quite regular through the season. And then obviously the exasperating part for the manager is that finishing up having to play a centre forward at centre half, in the middle of it's as an important game as that. So I think probably it will be a benefit in kind, this game.
Jakub Sokolik, what's the news on him?
Jakub's got he won't train until up to the end, the day before. I'm saying so, and either will Smithy. We've got one that's took a knock in that game as well, hasn't trained, but we'll keep that one to ourselves. But Tozer has trained the last 2 days, and Shawanri's did most of the training this morning. I'm not going to say what I think, so at the end of the day we'll wait and see.
So you might need a plan. I was going to plan B or plan C, but a plan E, a plan F, and players playing possibly out of position if the worst comes to the worst.
Yeah, definitely. The boy Thomas has not been allowed to play in the cup, so that's another scenario. And he's cup tied for the next one. He played against us, and I've been really pleased with his performances since he's come here. I think he's shown for a young player. A cultured touch, and then he's got great vision as well. Really excited. I think he's going to be a really good player.
And in terms of adding to your squad, I guess you need to get the 2 cup games out of the way before even contemplating that.
Yeah, I've obviously chatted to several football clubs about the availability of certain players. So none of them would give it any opportunity for me to take anybody this week because of the cup ties. So and the Tuesday night as well. So it's very, very difficult at this time to bring anybody in. And
have you had any interest in your players at all?
Well, I made a short list. Sent out a list of there's a possibility certain players would be available for loans, and I've had no comeback. I'm going to send out another list probably in the next couple of days, because it's important if people are not going to get, when everybody's fit, get benefit by playing it here. They've got to go and play somewhere, whatever standard they filter into.
Have you managed to lift the players in? I guess Wednesday, Saturday's along, and you're looking forward to now, which is an interesting challenge coming up this weekend.
Well, Sunday, knocks your training sideways a wee bit. And we've worked on the AstroTurf, quite a lot as well, and we've got the FA balls to practice on. So it's all go at this minute in time. We've had double sessions the last couple of days, and we're just trying to work and benefit the team for Sunday, which will be a difficult game. They're very, very, very solid team, very well organised, from what I can see, and they're doing well in their league campaign at this minute.
What was your reaction when you were paired with a non-league team away from home?
They're always difficult. I've had real testers in the past. And at the end of the day, it's a difficult game for us. Because obviously they'll be sleeves up, ready to do battle. We've got to match that straight away. On AstroTurf, which a different type of AstroTurf, I think, from ours. So it's going to be, we're really going to have to, work very, very hard to get the result we need.
Does it make any difference at all that it is on an AstroTurf? I know that there's talk of bringing it into the Football League. It's not allowed. Is it an advantage or disadvantage to you this weekend?
I think, at the end of the day, they play in it regular. So they've got the upper hand as far as that. They know all the foibles of it, when it's dry, when it's wet, how to play the game. So we're hopeful that the man hours we have on our AstroTurf will benefit us as well.
What is your FA Cup record like, particularly against non-league sides?
I know what you're way to say. You've probably checked it already. Cups have never really been a favourite of mine. I'm saying I think I got to Arsenal versus Plymouth one year, one of those rounds. Other than that, I've the GPT I got to a final, which was 2 years ago, was it? 3 years ago. So I've never really had what you would call a great run. Now we could do with a run. Financially we could do with a run. So it's important to get the first step with a win.